Hey everybody, it's Josh from Collection DX, and we are here today with a first look at the Bellerophon from Armarauders. Armarauders is a original property by Don Figueroa, best known for his work on Transformers, comic books and such. This is an entirely original creation of Don's that has come to fruition in toy form, and it is super intense. It is such an impressive first effort. There's so much to talk about with this piece. It is ambitious is not the word from coming out of nowhere with their first project. This thing is insane, and it's big too. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. For example, here's a Glyos dude, right? I mean, that's a Glyos dude. This thing's huge, really big. DX Soul of Chogokin size and quality. It is really massive, and it's weighty too. But for the sake of me having hands-free, I have it on the part of this display stand that it's included with it. There is more to that stand, which we will get into as we dive into the review. There's so much to talk about here. There's die-cast parts, there's clicky joints, there's hard points, so they're, you can pop off accessories from one place and put them on another. There's an opening cockpit, there's weaponry, there's even a minifigure, there's a pilot, there's so much going on here. And it is very nicely done. So let us jump right in. I don't really even know where to start, so I'm just going to start at the top and we'll just go through stuff and see how it goes. All this time I may have been saying it wrong. It might be Bellerophon instead of Bellerophon, but you get the idea. So let's start at the head. So you have a decent range of motion ahead. It's very tight. You get a little hinge behind it, which is cool. But check this out. You have a head plate that's removable, so you can see the detail inside the head. And they even supply a clear dome if you want to have that look, which is actually the look that I like the best, is the clear dome. It's really nice. On either side of the head you have opening missile hatches, and notice that these not only do they open, but they open and slide out, so they go back in, which is kind of cool. That's on both sides. Let's see, where else should we go? On the shoulders here are two cannons. That head thing back on there. See these cannons? They're vaguely Regalt looking Macross-y cannons. Oops, sorry. Knocked it off the stand there for a minute. Apparently, so this is a pre-production sample. Apparently, I believe that these will be removable in the final version. They are not removable now, but check out what's going on, which is kind of cool. You can see that, there's a ball joint connector here, so that gives you a good range of motion. But you also have like a cylinder here that moves as well. So it's really great. And this is a good place to show you their attachment system. So you can see this little peg here. Any place on this figure that you see a square port like that, you can attach anything with that system right in there. Of course, it's being kind of a thing now, but essentially there you go. So things plug right in. It's very cool. There are tons of those positions all over the figure, which are really nice. Going around to the back. Why don't I run to the back? You've got these little engines here. These are boosters. And you can see the tampo printing here. These things would always be in English on the old Macross toys. They've got them on all of the parts. And in this case it says Jet Blast. This is positionable. The nozzles are positionable. And these have a different kind of attachment point, which you see right there. And there's also another nice maintenance and inspection danger high voltage on the bottom there. Very nice. These are movable as well, and those are also removable. You can see here I have a connector on the stand right now. This is just a friction sort of groove thing here, so it can come off if you're not careful. The shoulders are impressive. Let's talk about the shoulders. And maybe I'll dismantle the parts, the hard point parts, as we go through so you can see what's going on here. So you have this here, which is a shoulder armor of some sort, and that is on a ball, and it also clips into there, but it also moves up and down. So the ball just pops off. This is just a nice detailed base with some more Tampo printing. And now you can see you have this shoulder pod here. Has that motion, but also those open up, revealing missile pods. Yet another kind of nice Macross throwback, in my opinion. I really like how they do that. And keeping with the spirit of the toy, this panel comes off and allows you to really see what the mechanism here is on the arm. This whole piece here is die-cast metal, nice and solid, big nice metal ball joint right into the arm there. So no click there, but you get a swivel on the upper arm. You get nice tight double jointed on the elbow. You have a connection point here, and here. This is actually a connection point as well for the back of the elbow. And then you come down to the hands. The hands are marvelous. So obviously what you're seeing here is a series of articulated fingers. And if you've watched my reviews in the past, you know that I kind of piss and moan about all the extra hands. Like, why doesn't anyone just keep making a nice set of articulated hands and that be the only hands that are there? Well, somebody listened. These are the only hands included with the Bellerophon. They are articulated and they are wonderful. They're so nice. They have a nice thumb that kind of moves in like that. The thumb has multiple joints on it. Ball there and a hinge there. These are all ball jointed at the palm and have hinges. There's a little tab here, and the tab is for the gun to itch into. There's the ball joint, and there's also just a nice hinge right there to, well, do pretty much any pose you want. Really, really nicely done. High quality too. The plastic on this, nuts. I mean, it just feels so good. And really, the only way you're telling the difference between the metal parts and the plastic parts is by the temperature. You know, if you touch a metal part, it's colder than a plastic part. If it weren't for that temperature difference and maybe the weight, you would not be able to tell the difference in finish between these plastic pieces and that metal piece. They are that alike in finish. Really nicely done. The chest has a nice range of motion. Up and down, turn. If you take this center section here and pull it forward, reveal the pilot and the cockpit. Now, there's a few things going on here, and we'll cover the pilot. I think his name is Cam a little bit later, but I wanted to point out a few things to you. Is that you have this movable section in the middle there. There are little pegs on the sides that the pilot can actually hold on to with his hands at that scale. That pilot is fully articulated. It's rather nuts. You'll notice here one of the few places you'll actually see exposed screws. You see a couple on the hood there, and there's a few other spots, but for the most part you don't see any of that in the figure. The legs are great on this figure. You have these attachments here. These are actually ammo packs for the gun, so you can pull these off and attach new ones. There are 4 of them in all, and they're these special holders. You can actually remove that and another connection point. Okay, look at this motion. Hear that noise? That noise is amazing. Listen to that all day long. That is quality metal joint work. So you can see what's going on here. Let me get a better view into the hips so you can see what we're looking at. You have a ratcheted hip joint there that goes onto a ball. And then you have a swivel, so it can go in and out. You have a double jointed knee with this panel is a connection point. And then you have another point down below. You see here the knee. Let's turn this a little sideways. So this is a point, comes off. And also this is movable and removable. So there's another point there. Moving down to the feet. Feet are also rather nice. You got swivel, rocker, and a hinge. Feet metal. Okay. Upper legs are, I've got metal in them. You can tell. It's just really, really awesome. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about the figure that it comes with, which is equally as impressive. Alright, so this is the palette of the Bellerophon. I believe his name's Cam. I could be wrong. He is a, believe it or not, fully articulated action figure. Once again, for scale, Glyos dude. So, very tiny compared to that. It comes with a little clear stand. It's kind of a bit of overkill for the stand for this guy, but it's a neat little piece. This guy, for being a little guy, he's got a ton of articulation. He's got awesome joints on the elbows, shoulders, wrists. He's got a hip joint. I mean, he's just, he puts the little figures that Mega Bloks, you know, I picture, like, you know, Mega Bloks makes these really great little Halo figures, you know, and they're kind of like the minifig standard. This is better. It's tiny and amazing. You're probably not going to have a lot of luck standing him just because he's so light. Maybe you will if you kind of are careful, but I have not had a lot of luck. There he goes. Look, he's standing up. Good. So he's the basic figure is that. That's cool. But there is a set of armaments that he comes with that add some value to the set. And you have these here. And what you do, you just pop off the head carefully, put this over his shoulder. Don't ham-hand this stuff so the parts go flying all over the place. Pop the head back on. And you can put these on the shoulder pads. Now obviously he can't fit in the cockpit with all this crap on him. And some of these pieces are really small, so do be careful. Fortunately, every little piece that I've handled has popped out instead of broken, which is good because that's what it should do. So you have his battle armor, like so, and you can put the cannons like over his shoulders, and that's cool. But what I like to do, and it's in a little like a Easter egg, is you have this backpack, and you see the little things here. You can actually take that apart, and you make 2 guns. See the little pegs. The pegs slide into hands, and now he's got a full complement of weaponry. I mean, that's an impressive little figure. You have to admit, the engineering in this thing is phenomenal. And you know, Mecha Workshop went to Sentinel and T-Rex to tool up and produce this figure. So although Mecha Workshop is a newer organization, relatively speaking, they leaned on the experience of, well, more experienced companies. And even, you know, compared to products that Sentinel has put out, this is impressive. You know, so it's not like they phoned it in for somebody else's project, you know, whatever. Like, they did an amazing frickin' job on this thing. Look at this little guy. Awesome. Incredibly awesome. And he's tiny. He's like 1.5 inches tall. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of articulation on the figure, plus two weapons, a backpack, movable shoulder cannons. It's insane. It's really, really cool. I am impressed. If I can only stop popping these things off with my gorilla hands, I would be in good shape. Alright, so there is the small, awesome little figure. Very cool. Oh no, he's naked. I know, right? Well, I wanted to show you a few other things. There's a cool triple-bladed weapon that he can hold on to and grab in a very natural fashion, which is nice. Each blade is removable, so if you wanted to just show him holding his like an unactivated weapon, you could do that, like so. Sorry, my angle is so bad here. Okay, but you can also store that weapon on you. Here we go. With a special harness with a connection point. So you can just sort of snap it on there. Comes apart if you want to. I'll use the other one. You can put it here if you wanted to. And make a kind of a cool rotating blade weapon on either side of the arm. And that's what's great about this kind of modular system, is that you can just put parts anywhere. You know, whether they make sense or not, you can put, you know, knee pads where elbow pads go, and open doors, and just do all kinds of weird shit that, you know, whatever your imagination wants you to do. And there are a lot of points to attach stuff to. But here's the thing. Not every one of these pieces attaches in the same fashion. So, for example, you only have one of this type of connector. Sorry, guys. And those are only for the boosters. You only are able to use these on the shoulders. But anything that's got one of these sort of slotted tabs, you can put anywhere you want. And it's pretty interesting that you can do that. I mean, not all of it will make sense, you know? But you can if you wanted to. And that's what's the glory of it, is you can, it's really modular, you can attach them however you want, plug it in, plug and play, so to speak. It's nice, and I can only imagine that this concept will expand as you collect other releases in the line. So if they all use the same mounting apparatus, which I would assume they will, you will be able to just create like amazing, like, mega mechs, which will rock considerably. Now, in the background of all this video, you've seen this kind of bluish stand. It is rather blue. The figure is like a light purple, which is unusual, but okay, it works. And the stand is light blue, which is unusual, but okay, it works. what you have here is a kind of a riff off the Bandai stand features. That you have a little door that opens. You can pull this up, secure the door, and you have the figure in the flying pose. You can change your positions based on what slot you lock everything into. And it attaches, of course, to the bottom of the figure with that kind of toothy joint there. Now, there is more to this stand than meets the eye, which, you know, is always a good thing. Because there are more parts. Check this shit out. Not only are there more parts, you get a whole goddamn hanger of a stand. Right? Look at this amazing thing. This is the balls. Okay, you get little ladders all over the place. You got little control panels, and you got a little. And once these are together, you can connect them. So you got a little walkway. The height of this whole assembly can be raised and lowered. So if you want it lower, you can press in the buttons and bring it down. If I figure out how to do that, but that happens. And essentially, you get a cool mechanical stand for the robot, and he looks like he's, you know, in the hangar undergoing his maintenance. You could take a little pilot guy, and of course everything is in scale, so the guy doesn't look too like out of the question being up here working on his control panel. Perhaps he's getting ready to enter the unit, like so. Isn't that nuts? That is nuts. There is so much good about this. It is amazing. So, I'm gushing about this thing because I think it's great. I am a little biased because I've been following the development of this for a really long time, and I was rooting for it. I really wanted to see it happen, especially because it was so ambitious of a project right from the get-go. I mean, people start a toy company, they put out a vinyl or maybe a 6-point of articulation action figure. They don't put out a $200 die-cast, extremely high-engineered figure with playset and articulated driver. That's insane. I mean, it is. It's insane, especially in this market. Especially, on top of that, on a property that nobody knows anything about, unless you're, you know, a fan of Don's, you know, or already just happen to hear about it through Collection DX or other websites. So it's a big freaking gamble on these guys, and damn it if they didn't nail it. They did nail it. This piece is amazeballs. It is really, really fantastic. It feels awesome. It feels like a company that's been doing this for years. You know, the GalGaiGar I just reviewed for Soul Chogokin is a $300 piece, and this is going to retail for about $200. And I mean, considering, like, this is, I mean, that's good. That's good. Don't balk at that price, man, because what you're getting in this set, you know, all of these parts and accessories and weapons. I haven't seen the box yet. I'm sure the box is going to be rad. You know, this is, like I said, this is a pre-production sample, so I don't have any packaging. I don't have instructions. There may be shit on here that does stuff that I haven't figured out yet. I've only had a day to play with this. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep this. I got to set it back, but I'll get one at some point on my own because it is that rad. So, yeah, this is the Armor Marauders Bellerophon by Mecha Workshop, designed and created by Don Figueroa, kind of CAD modeled and produced by I think T-Rex and Sentinel, if I am remembering correctly. You know, it is quality. It's solid. It's fun. So what else can I say about it? All right, so you know what? I'm going to give you a few negatives here, okay? Because I don't want to seem like I'm gushing too much here. It's a bit top heavy right now, but I am told that is because it is pre-production, and that they are going to be tightening up the joints in the legs to make it a little more stable for production. So I'm heard that that's happening. So that would be one of my big thing about it's a bit top heavy to kind of, you know, get the pose without the aid of the stand. You can do it, absolutely. It just gets a little like dicey in some places. Another little iffy bit, and this is just a lot of cool shit going on with the action figure. But damn it, I am gonna lose parts. It's small. It's very small. I am gonna lose parts. I'm surprised I haven't lost anything already. I'm a little disappointed about the armor in that they decided to use different connection points for different pieces. So I would like to put maybe these and maybe repurpose them as weapons or something like that. And I'm also I think there's a missed opportunity that some of the larger parts don't have connection points on them, so you could chain parts together to make like really big assemblies and such. But that's minor. There may be a couple of small missed opportunities, but as a whole, Jesus, what a great job that they did on this. I'm really impressed by it. So this is up for pre-order as of, I think, March 1st. It's going to go for pre-order, and I think it's going to ship third quarter of 2015. I am really going to hate to give this back and have to wait until March to get another one, because it is really, really great. So if you want to check these guys out, you can go to, I believe you can go to mechaworkshop.com, and you will get all of the details of where to buy and how much, and you know, here's a nice little breakdown of all the parts. I mean, it just rocks, man. It's really, really nice. I'm so happy that, you know, you see, I follow the development online on their blog, and they're showing all these turnarounds and CAD renderings and prototypes, and I'm like, you know, it's so complicated. The odds of this coming out good were kind of slim. You know, I mean, you don't know. It's a big thing to bite off. And they did it. They did it. Based on this sample, this is an amazing quality piece. It's heavy, it's clicky, it's well made, the paint detail's sharp and crisp, everything fits right. It's just fun to hold, and the stand is amazing, and the little action figure is crazy. Yeah, you cannot beat this thing right now. So yeah, order one. Like, get cracking on this thing. This thing is mad cool. I gotta shoot some pictures now. This is Josh from Collection DX. We will see you next time.